But to someone who commemorated Anzac Day in, I think, 3 states at least, starting with Canberra, the opposition's spokesman for Veterans Affairs, Barnaby Joyce, the former Deputy Prime Minister and our regular Thursday guest. Barnaby, lovely to see you. You were in Canberra, then on the Gold Coast again for Australia Day, now in New South Wales. I mean, that's one effort. That's a serious effort. What's your impression from what you've seen? Because it seems to me both that Anzac Day this year seemed more needed, more salient than usual, but also more disrespected by some.
Yes, it's, you know, Anzac Day, in the past we thought it was about them, their, then. But now we realise it's actually about us here and now. And it's about the families. It's in the past you would have seen photos overwhelmingly ex-servicemen, overwhelmingly. But now it's the children, the grandchildren, the great-grandchildren. So families of honour can say, my great-grandfather, my great-granduncle, my father, my mother, my son, my daughter, myself, have served this nation to protect this nation, to give people the rights and liberties that we enjoy, but we take for granted. And this is so important. It's seminal. It's seminal to what this nation is. If you like the egalitarian nature, if you like the democracy, if you like the rule of law, if you like the freedoms and liberties you have, well, you have to thank those who protected them, because without their protection, you wouldn't have any of that. You wouldn't have to worry about all these things you're arguing about, because you would be subjugated by another nation. You would have your foot on your throat. Your children would live in a completely different world. And so that is why it's so important. So we see the families going out there, and for them, it's become iconic. And for them, it's sacred. And it is growing, and so it should grow. It's developed from what it was. It is now something that is developed. It is better. It's what draws people out, and great today to celebrate with, or commemorate, not celebrate, commemorate with so many Australians.
Yeah, Barnaby, I think there's something else now that's become pushing to the fore here. I agree. It is about honouring those who, you know, endured so much and lost so much in the defence of us all. That's number one. I've got that. But what I think I'm seeing now is many Australians rallying to Anzac Day because it is something that brings us into communion with the past, the present and the future, brings us together, people of all walks of life, from every kind of tribe, if you want to put it that way, or ethnicity. This, the glue, is, I think, so important now to people.
Well, that's exactly what I said. It's now us and here and now. It's not them and there and then. It's us and here and now. And of course, it is. I think a lot of people say, I'm sick of being pushed around. I'm sick of people pushing me around on Australia Day, pushing me around on Christianity. And now we do have people coming in and say, oh, well, we don't like Anzac Day. It's one of the last bastions that these people hold. So we'll go in there and try and remove that from them as well. And we've already had so-called teachers and staff for Palestine saying that Anzac Day must be dismantled. Now, at the start, they go out and you think, oh, that's ridiculous. Who cares about them? Well, you better care about them. You better make a stand straight away. You better make a stand straight away, because these contrarian, parochial fleas, it grows. If you give them breath, they grow. So you've got to deal with it immediately. And it really says to all people, the greatest respect should be for those who offered their life for this nation, who lost their life for this nation, who were maimed both physically and mentally, whose families fell apart, whose marriages broke down because one member was away for so long and so far, for the people who came back and were just deserted by the nation, just forgotten about. And remember, we have 14,000 ex-service men, overwhelmingly men from the First World War, who have nothing but clay above them, no tombstone, no headstone. They're forgotten about. And we have a paramount duty to find these unmarked graves within Australia and give them the dignity of a tombstone.